Hi friends, I'm Christine Brandt and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos about what it's like to be a fire family. Now today's video won't actually be as dedicated to our lifestyle as a firefighter's family as some of my content is, but I do want to mention that whenever I talk about household systems or parenting, I've got stress management running through the back of my mind. Doing less on purpose and leaning into philosophies like simplicity and minimalism, these are the best ways that I personally manage the stress of being married to a first responder with a high intensity job. So if you're in a similar boat or not, I hope you can gain something from today, because no matter what kind of a parent you are, parenting can be kind of stressful. Let me share with you one of my favorite household management systems, which is a semi-regular toy rotation. So last month I shared a toy decluttering and organizing video, and that's like an annual, maybe biannual rhythm I like to keep up whenever we have a birthday, especially because it helps to keep the volume of toys in our home manageable. A toy rotation is something I do then once or twice a month, and how elaborate the rotation is, it really varies. I just like to pay attention to how frequently toys are being engaged with, how well books are being enjoyed, how settled my children are behaving. I'm not necessarily responding to boredom, but when the kids have stopped engaging with a particular toy, and I know it's something they'll pick up again in the future, that tells me it's a time for a toy rotation. We also have summer break coming up. Our little part-time preschool is out for the summer, and so I wanted to do a more elaborate rotation, like every toy and book in the home, and I had a lot of fun with it. The first step for me is simply picking up all the toys that are out. Ideally, I just can put them away in our toy storage cupboards, but inevitably there's some tidying and decluttering that needs to happen in this step. Next, I'm collecting books from around the house. I've mentioned before how I'm a big fan of letting your house be a natural container for your things. When we moved into this house about 1.5 years ago, I instantly knew that I wanted this little nook to be our kids' library. It's the perfect height for my 2-year-old to keep my 2-year-old from dumping every book we own on a daily basis, but it's still accessible for my 4-year-old, who now has a better understanding for why humans read one book at a time. We do own a couple dozen more books than fit on this shelf, and those are the books I scatter into reading zones throughout the house. So I find that small piles of face-up books are interacted with much more frequently than a shelf of spines. My kids are 2 and 4, so developmentally, that's what they're interacting with most right now. Encouraging reading is a really big value for me and also my husband. So we have a reading zone near our kitchen table for morning reading. We like to read at breakfast time. We have a zone in the girls' room for bedtime reading. We have a handful of books in front of each of their car seats in the car for long drives. And then there's a zone in our bedroom for my oldest daughter. She does quiet time there. I haven't even touched on library books yet, what we do when we bring library books into the mix. So if you want to hear more about books and reading systems, just let me know in a comment down below. I personally love this kind of thing, and I could go in depth as you want. So after picking out our new selection of books, I reset the reading zones and move on to selecting a few main toys to live on our toy shelves for the next few weeks. So this time I went with Magnetiles, the tea set, and princess figurines. And with these big toys that are like too large to store away, I just like to rotate their location. You'd be surprised how effective this is. I noticed one of the girls brought this rocking horse down a few days ago, and they have been riding it like it's a brand new toy. So that's been kind of fun. You also saw me highlight a couple of bonus zones. We always have baby dolls in this cupboard because they are played with daily. My 4-year-old has some big girl zones. There's the arts and crafts tray and this bin with tiny toys. She plays with these either early in the morning while her sister's still sleeping, or at nap time. She doesn't rest as long as little sister does. So she has a couple of pockets of time throughout the day where I need her to play quietly, and she can interact with these big girl zones.
I need to like here. I need to like here, Mother.
I'll be honest, I was going to end the footage here, but later on that day, I got to experience the sheer magic of independent play. When my kids saw these favorite toys that have been tucked away for a while, no joke, y'all, I got to cook dinner in peace. I tidied the backyard. I got to read my book. I even got a little workout in. So my kids were super happy with this fresh setup. I would love to hear how this landed with you. Do you have any systems for toy management that are working well for you? Any questions or areas you want me to dive into more deeply? Leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and sharing with a friend who could use the encouragement. I will see you next week. Bye, friends.